Hello there, thanks for joining me. So, today we're going to see about how important, what is the most important aspect in learning English. People will have so many thoughts and so many inputs from various sources in specific to learning any particular language. When it comes to the question of reading English or understanding the language, speaking like a professional, it is more important to get into the actual fact that the pronunciation matters a lot. In any language, the pronunciation acts as a vital part, and it is how the more accurate you are sounding is going to represent like how familiar and how far you know the language. It's all about the actual fact. The learning language process goes hand in hand with the pronunciation steps as well. So unless you pronounce any language or the terminologies, the vocabularies appropriately as how it has to be, you wouldn't be able to make someone understand, you wouldn't be able to transmit your ideas. It is very hard for you to transmit your ideas to the listener unless you pronounce the actual term as how it is being pronounced in the language. So, in order to jot them into pointers, we can actually classify them as phonetics, of course, and then syllables, and then specific to the syllables, we can split them into word and sentence. So, to discuss more in detail, phonetics is the sound. So any kind of sound in language, like how the language is being pronounced, how the language sounds to the other person who listens, how the words are being pronounced, how you actually sound each and every alphabet in a specific word, how you form them and use them. And in a specific to syllables, it's actually a stress and pause in each word or in a sentence. Like how do you actually stress a word in specific to the spelling and in specific to the alphabet it has. How do you actually stress them with pauses at various situations while mentioning them separately or mentioning them when putting them together into a sentence as well. So basically, a phonetics has to be understood as how this particular language or a word or alphabet is being pronounced in any language. So unless you pronounce them appropriately, you wouldn't be able to convey your ideas. Same words can be pronounced in various methodologies, in various means, depending on the particular region where you are. So mostly English is a language where you'll have a lot of native influence, like native mother tongue influence. So people would actually get used to the way where they will pronounce the language with an influence of their actual mother tongue or to the country, a country specific national language or something. So in order to omit them, in order to make it as a clear understanding for the listener, you have to stick on to a specific type of accent or specific type of way to pronounce the language words, to use the vocabularies, to use the alphabetical pronunciations and the stresses and pauses involved in each kind of accent. So predominantly it's all about the British accent or the American accent. So it depends on which one you actually opt for. Nothing is wrong in sticking to a particular accent, but try not to mix them up. Because when you are in a part of America, you wouldn't be able to use much of the British accent. However, nowadays, because of a lot of sophistication and too much of social media interventions, people are used to it. However, it's always good to stick on to a specific accent. So to know more about either of the accent, you have to get used to the YouTube channels and specific to the language. Get used to the videos, movies that would actually help you a lot in order to pronounce in a sophisticated way and in a more and more contemporary methodologies. So it is always good to understand that phonetics, the syllables, that is the word stress, and the sentence stress, like how you actually stress them in a sentence and how the word is being stressed and how the pause is being used. So unless you know them in detail, unless you understand them, you wouldn't be able to go through the language, and you wouldn't be able to reach them and use them effectively. I hope this lesson would have helped you to understand like how a language should be learned. And I'm planning to put on more videos in specific to how you can understand the language, how we can learn the language using this phonetics and syllables. So let's see on the future lessons. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Share it with your friends so let them also get benefited. Subscribe to my channel for updates on new videos. Thank you. Bye.